Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today.
I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Yeah, sure. If
Hey,
I
Pam,
could.
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
This guy's been talked about for years. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that
President Trump did nothing wrong.
Trying to drag my name, trying to stop my game. Don't know the pain, bitch, I know the pain. Man, where was y'all at when I was on the emails? Where was y'all at when I was on the emails? Where was y'all at when I was with the teacher?
Welcome back to the channel. Tune in or ghost out. How do we talk about today's topic? Like, this is a crazy topic and it's just normal now. But new emails dropped. Got some pretty damning information that ties our president, former presidents, and a lot of other world leaders back to a person who they should not have ties to. And that is Jeffrey Epstein. If you still don't know who this guy is, I don't know how you wouldn't. He is a disgraced teacher turned secret agent turned arm dealer turned financier. Yeah, this guy has done a lot and his whole past makes no sense. But yeah, he was the most important person on earth for like the past 20 years and we didn't know about him, maybe even before that, because he has a lot of friends in a lot of high places. And let me not say we didn't know about him. 2015, if you were paying attention to that election and emails at that time as well, he is very well connected to a lot of people from just that time period. You know, the whole Clinton Foundation, Seth Rich Podesta timeline we were on that never really went away but just kind of got buried. Well, yeah, all the stuff that stuff unearthed is coming back. All I can say is you're wrong till you're not. You're wrong until you're not. And just for my safety / anxiety, I'm not going to try to rehash those points. I think you can look into them yourself. WikiLeaks is a good source for all this. But yeah, these 20,000 or so emails that were just dropped by the Republicans and the Democrats really isn't a good type of like winning. If you were called crazy in 2016 for just saying what happened, then these emails don't really make you feel good. I just wonder like what's the next step? Because I remember when WikiLeaks dropped that dump of emails and there was a particular email that the media just never addressed, and it's verifiably real, you know, 100% still can look it up till today. And when I saw that, kind of made you think. A lot of the awesome cool viewers that tune into this channel, you guys will comment on some videos that I talk about politics in and drop a comment like they're different wings on the same bird. Well, you're right. In 2015 proved exactly that. And I think we need to take a moment out to just thank Seth Rich. While I'm not saying he's the one that sparked this whole thing off, I feel like without him and Julian Assange, then the world would never even know about this. These would just be backroom deals being done with people's lives on the line. But I'm conflicted on how to feel. Will something come of this? Or will we just be fed more nothing burgers where nobody gets any type of justice? Because recently Trump announced that he's going to do his own investigation to look into more Democratic people in those files. At this point, I don't know why it matters. There's already a photo of Bill Clinton getting a massage from a victim. Epstein has a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress. And in the new batch of emails, Trump, former Prince Andrew, and Epstein supposedly met in 2019 at the White House just a month before Epstein went to jail. And we all know how that ended. And he also had Thanksgiving with Epstein. And he also was accused of giving Bubba, aka Clinton, a blowy. Not to mention the phone book of names found within these documents from lesser known celebrities like Elon Musk to some of the most rich and well-connected families like the Rockefellers. And you know what? I'm not even suggesting that they did anything, but they just happen to be in these files. And before I jump to conclusions, why don't we just release the files at this point? Who are we protecting? We have gotten several batches. It implicates everybody. Are we just holding off long enough to burn them or something? Is the renovation on the East Wing gonna just somehow burn where the files are or something? mean, I'm not jumping to theories, but why at this point even delay the release any longer? If you want to get ahead of the story and you want to make MAGA love you still, then just release him. I think that's his best bet, because even if he is implicated more with that release, I can see Cat Turd coming out and saying, well, the Democrats never released him and he did. And that's all I imagine is going to happen. Does anyone think that jail time is going to come for anyone in these files? Like, we've seen so many names. There's direct connection of Bill Clinton and him, and nobody has served a day. Even if it does get out, probably going to pardon himself somehow. I don't know. That's being floated around. And how cooked are we that that's even being floated around? Can he pardon himself? I've seen a lot of people jumping through hoops to justify these actions and paint this as like not that bad. I'm sick to my stomach. Too many people are proudly going on the internet and defending these actions, which again, you don't have to defend. Even if you support him politically, you don't have to support this. It is free 99 to not say a word, because when you're dealing with topics like this, even a misspeak is crazy. We're not talking about immigrants. We're not talking about food stamps. Not even about affordability. This is out of economics. If you don't want to be associated with the cult-like mentality that people say that these followers have, then don't defend this. But the amount of people I've seen...
Oh, yeah, everyone's turning on Trump now? Yeah, I guess they're just panicking.
Yeah, you guys turn on Trump every other week.
This is just another Democrat hoax.
Which just confirms to me that Twitter is 90% Indian accounts who have a weekly meeting and discuss all their like retorts and comebacks for the week, just in case anybody has an opinion of their own. But there's really not much to say. I want to make light of this, but there's really nothing to make light of. If you were paying attention during 2015, this is not new to you and just confirms some very dark things. But this seems like it's not the end of the road. They're supposed to have a vote, so it's not going to leave the headlines for a couple days. Let's see if something happens, or there's just more breadcrumbs that lead to nothing. But shout out Thomas Massie. As you dig deeper into a lot of politicians, or they get funding from APAC adjacent funders, but Thomas Massie, from all the research that I've done, has been one of the few people that I agree with on a lot of things. And he's also the person leading the charge on releasing the Epstein files. They have a vote coming up Tuesday, and it looks like they have enough support. Will something happen? I'm not sure, but it will force a vote and have names who deny access to these files, which seems like very bad politically, and that's all that these people really care about. So Thomas Massie is really checking their card, and this may lead somewhere, because if the House does approve this bill, it will move to Trump's desk, and he will have the choice to sign it and release the files unredacted, or veto the bill and cause one of the biggest stirs in American political history. This is truly a world hanging in the balance moment. I know it seems like nothing ever happens, but if you've been keeping up this long, this is kind of where it's all been leading to. And how we respond to this situation will determine the outcome of the country, in my opinion. I hate to make this all sound super dramatic, but if you look at the sheer scale of this scandal, it truly makes Watergate look like a regular Saturday afternoon. This kind of sucks that it's going into the holidays. As we get ready to celebrate and end the year off, the calm of winter has really turned into anxiety. People sitting on the edge of their seats, more focused on the news cycle than the people around them. If I could give you any bit of advice, there's enough people like me talking about the stuff that's going on. Don't let this news consume you. As a lot of people come to the realization that all this mainstream news and narratives that they feed you are really all just nonsense, it seems like the system is trying to destroy itself to make people notice. Go outside, enjoy the air while you still can. But what do I know? Just unemployed guy playing Call of Duty, sharing my opinion. If you agree or disagree, I don't know what you would disagree with actually in this video. So leave a comment. I do read all of them, but let me know your whole thoughts on the situation. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to join the thread. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Until next time.
But still they watching me like YouTube. And talk, you give a fuck about the who.